Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Let's talk security a bit, because there's a crisis of security up and down the land, depends where you are at, as they say in America. Security is a problem, and well, a number of top-level people were with the president yesterday, and that is reported today. Traditional rulers, Inspector General of Police, in that ilk. And by now you've heard that the president has said that drones and CCTVs will be deployed up and down the land especially on expressways, to sort of add more armament, if you want, to this fight against insecurity. Okay, it's not easy to actually fly drones in Nigeria. In fact, I recall that I was reading a news report last week. Lagos State government has been 2 years in the process of trying to get approval to bring in some drones to aid security efforts. But interestingly, and I'm no doubt happily for Lagos State and other states, the president has now said that he will be giving a directive, if he hasn't already given the directive, to the approving agencies to, approve with dispatch. In other words, fast track. I imagine they still will be as thorough as they need to be, because it's a security affair. But the president has said that that block, it seems, will be removed, so that many more people, many more states, state governments will be able to deploy drones, which essentially are unmanned aerial vehicles. As you know, there are all sorts of drones, ranging from from toy ones right up to the military ones. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of that will work out and how effective they will be. But with an eye in the sky, I imagine, it's going to be quite helpful. Well, I have two experts here that are going to be helping us out with understanding what the potentials are of this. Mr. Richard Amua is a security consultant. Thank you, as always, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, sir.
It's been quite a while.
Yes,
our pleasure. Sure. And Mr. Phillips Obuesi, he's a lawyer, a public affairs analyst, and also has experience in working with the police from time to time on security issues. Thank you very much as well for coming on. Thank you very much. Yori, please.
Yori.
Yeah. So here we are. First blush, it seems very interesting, because I imagine it's such a valuable technology. That's why government in the past has been quite tight about allowing drones. There are laws in Nigeria, well, there are laws everywhere, but especially Nigeria, in keeping with what is also obtainable in other places of the world, you can't just buy a drone and begin to fly it any old how.
Sure.
You find yourself, the security people will be very interested in you. Yeah. You can't do that. Yeah. But now Mr. President has said that because of the situation in the country, when those traditional rulers, Inspector General of Police, and all those people were there, it was a meeting of all those top wigs, he had said that this was something that that we are going to be deploying, and that he was going to be instructing the appropriate people to fast track, all of this. So I just mentioned that Lagos State has been at it for 2 years.
Oh, yeah, I know about that.
Trying to get approval, which has not been forthcoming.
Yeah.
Now, with this presidential interest, it probably will be a lot easier. Yeah. But give me an overview of what you think this will do, because the common layman's way of looking at it is an eye in the sky.
Yeah.
So you're seeing everything, How is that going to be helpful, do you think? The drones, it's drones. CCTVs, which Lagos State also, this is where we are in Lagos, southwest of the country. Yeah. And so we've seen this in Lagos. Unfortunately, with the CCTVs in Lagos, I don't know what happened. Maybe vehicles knocked them over, they became comatose. If you drive around Lagos, you'll see some of them falling. I don't know, government has not been able to put them back up. So we knew that, we know that they had those things, but now with this sort of, with this new interest in these security devices, how do you think let us start with the drones first, please.
Yeah, with the drone.
How do you think it's going to be helpful?
It's going to be very helpful. In fact, that's one thing we have advocated for over the years, technology. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, if we don't get knocked to the wall, we don't seem to, to fight back. It is a welcome development for states to start using drone right now. Don't forget that drone is for surveillance, either for coastal, for perimeter, like forests and all those stuff. And again, drone can fly as high as it could be and see, record, and put the information together to the people that are going
to... for those, my, dear Mama Lakaras,
yes,
and anybody else,
yeah.
Essentially, it's a little aircraft. It has a camera attached.
Yes, CCTV attached.
And it can be beaming those pictures down to earth.
Yes.
So it's like magic. It's like a spirit in the air. Just sort of explaining it for, as I said, people who are not commonly. That's what it is. It's essentially an airborne camera that is unmanned. You don't need a human being. And it's small. And they range from military size that look like a little airplane to much more.
In fact, even these days, Nollywood people use drone camera.
Exactly. That is the most common one that we know.
See.
But even that requires permission, right?
Permission, yeah.
Because
it requires permission, definitely. But again, because entertainment, so they have a way of getting it to.
They have a way of getting it.
But right now we're talking about,
professional grade.
Professional. What's it called? Drone.
Yes.
I think again why government have not really allow most state government to do it because of the kind of country we are in. Don't forget again that everything that has advantage has its own disadvantage. Coming back to...
It can be used for spying, for example.
Of course, it is
used for spying.
Yes. For example, right now...
Not here.
That's the core reason.
No.
The core reason, as you were saying.
For example, right now, Lagos state government could fly 1 or 2 drones. And there's another personal drone that is flying around. How are you going to know that it's Lagos state owned? But in other countries where drones are being flight around to take information, if there is a spy drone, they will quickly detect.
Yeah.
But my question here is that, would the state government have enough fund to put what? Because drones does not fly alone. Yeah. It has other backup equipment in the control rooms. People are monitoring, people know what is going on. And when drone detect situations, are we mobile enough to deal with the situation he has found? You see, let me say, yesterday when I listened to Mr. President talking to the leaders from the Southwest, I just shook my head. I said, I think Mr. President is going far. You see, I said it time and time number. I think a whole lot of people in the private sector, thank God that he said he's going to work with private security organizations. We need to sit down and take security from fundamental. Sir, if you put drone, you put CCTV. If it captures me, I don't have any data. You don't know where you're going to look out for me. If, for example, in UK, the moment a CCTV captures you, or in the US, it captures you, they go into their archive to look at the face. Is he a convicted criminal? Is he this? And before you know it, they start analyzing fingerprint, everything. In this country, do you have it like that now? If you put a CCTV and drone flying everywhere, for example, I'm asking from the highway, the CCTV you put in the highway, in the city itself, is not working. You've not heard of the police arresting criminals or kidnappers based on the CCTV deployed in the city. And you're not thinking of the highway. Don't forget that CCTV reports, we monitor, and what happened? Action is taken. Lagos, Benin, or Orero, let's assume there's CCTV there. So are you going to build control rooms? Don't forget again that in the same route, sir, you see police posts on every 30 minutes.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to come back to some of these things that you're pointing out, but let me come over to Phillips. CCTV and drones are not the same.
Yeah.
Of course. They are different. Because we're talking about, Mr. President was talking about installing CCTVs on our expressways, on our streets, and the CCTVs, it stands to reason, they can be remotely, monitored. So, thank you. So you know what's going on. For instance, a command post, a command station would know that there's some fishy or funny activity going on there. It can simply just radio its people that are closest to that place, move into place, there's something going on, we need it to be investigated. So I imagine that's straightforward. In fact, we've seen it demonstrated in Lagos. Well, my experience only is in Lagos. We've seen it demonstrated in Lagos where they're using it for traffic, if not control, at least monitoring, traffic monitoring. So talking about CCTV, I think that's pretty cut and dried. But as he was pointing out, we just have to be sure that all those systems are up and running. But going back to the drones, because CCTVs are stationary. Yeah, you might put them all over the place, but a drone can move around and as required. What's the potential of that? Because I've seen some criticism in the paper. I think Agbekoya, for instance, has said that it's not going to do very much. Okay, that was just probably off the bat. That was their first, that was their very first response. But you tell me, do you think there's potential in the idea of take them one after the other, the CCTV on one side and then the drones?
I have a challenge with that technology being a response to the level of insecurity that we have presently in Nigeria. Just like as my brother Richard has said, we lack the basic fundamentals, the backyard framework,
the backroom
framework that will be able to receive and sieve the information, analyze the information for use. Now,
are you saying that on reliable authority?
Because, of course, yes. Of course, yes, Mr. Yori.
Okay.
Do you know why I say yes? We have varying challenges with our infrastructure here in Nigeria.
Okay.
Now, electricity, that's power, is number one. Nobody, no country that is interested in addressing insecurity that does not invest in power and ensuring the 24/7 availability of electricity. Now, if we have drones that run like that, the equipment that INEC deployed during the election, you know how it worked? Most of these equipment,
you're talking about the
card readers. These things lasted for lasted for less than 2 hours, and they don't have backup batteries. They don't. So a lot of issues started arising with a technology as simple as that. I do not agree that the deployment of CCTV and drones technology should be the immediate response of the government to the state of insecurity. When there is so much high level of unemployment, when there is so much level of, I was coming to this place and all over the streets, all over the roads, you see young people sitting down and waiting for what God knows. Those collecting money from buses and all manner of young people littering the roads.
Unemployed.
We do not address these people. And we are trying to deploy certain technologies that we do not have the necessary infrastructure to receive their information. So all in all, I will say, for a start, that the CCTV and the drones technology will not be an immediate response, should not be an immediate response for fighting insecurity, because our people, as we know them, beyond the issues of
okay, those were some pictures in Lagos that I was speaking about.
If I can come in quickly.
I was saying that some of those CCTVs, which are, by the way, are solar powered.
Solar powered.
And
they're not maintained.
They are not maintained, and even when they do capture information, the people are not there to receive that information. The people are not willing to walk in line with that information. I was at CMS, I think, 2 days ago, and right under some kind of surveillance, the last mile people were arresting somebody. And why not simply, the CCTV has already captured it, and somebody was pointing out to them, why fight with this motorist when there is this thing, cameras here at this exact point? Our people have not come to terms with technology, and it is affecting our development. So for now, considering our level of progress technologically, I do not believe that the deployment of CCTV and drones should be an immediate response. Okay. We should start addressing fundamentals of insecurity, such fundamentals as lack of education amongst the people.
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you, and thank you very much, because we need to try and understand this subject matter. And what we've done is since we started, pointed out some of the great challenges that we will have to face if this is going to work. Now, I understand that, and we need to know it. But could we look at some of the potentials, some of the potentialities of this? I've heard the lack of 24/7 power. Yeah, I know. You know, we could have made that same argument for why we're not ready for GSM telephony right now. But we knew that we can't wait. Technology is where it's at. We find ourselves where we are. We just don't have a choice. We've got to join it. And it's not as efficient. Even the GSM people they're crying. We know. But here we are. Everybody just about takes his phone for granted nowadays. So I don't know if we could look at some of the good points, the potentialities, without failing to point out some of the things that you pointed out. You know, we have things to do that. But if we could do it right, and I'm bringing my paradigm from the GSM people have all these limitations too, but they've done it by and large right. So if we could look at it from that point of view, the CCTVs, for instance, I imagine it's a moderately small, it's a moderate step to fix the back end.
Uncle Yori?
To fix the back end.
Uncle Yori, let me tell you,
we could get more serious with that.
Uncle Yori, the point here is we're not saying the CCTV and the drone will not work. But we're saying that we need to be ready, get the equipment that's going to get the CCTV and the drone to work. For example, we're still saying here now.
I think the president would have taken that for granted.
And again,
he would have taken that. Otherwise, it's useless.
Okay, let me tell you. If I'm in Mr. President's shoe, I will not even announce that.
Thank you very much.
I will not even announce that I'm going to use drone and CCTV. Let it be part of security measures I'm going to take, and we start putting things in place. Let me tell you, I keep saying it. I've been in security for over 20-something years of my life. This is all I've studied. Now, if I'm going to deploy CCTV, first of all, like he said, fundamentals. Where are the data for? To say, Richard Amoa lives in so-so-so street. He's not been convicted. My fingerprint, everything is somewhere. Those things work with CCTV.
Sir, yes. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I dare say, without being an expert of any sort, that those kind of things are not terribly important. The ones that are important, let me illustrate what I mean. When the police go about their investigation, for instance, and they want to know what transpired here when we went there, we want to know from our investigation or from the evidence, we know this happened between 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning, for example. The CCTV cameras can be very helpful from films, documentaries I've seen of giving to the police all the vehicles that pass through this place between the hours that you have specified. Now, there won't be any fingerprints involved, there won't, but the police will have other stuff that they can now use to progress the investigation. You get me? So I'm looking at the low-hanging fruit, possibly, if there are any. Do you understand me? I understand all the things that you have said, but surely there will be 1 or 2 low-hanging fruits that we can benefit from this.
CCTV is not just for police to do investigation. It's to deter that very stuff happening right away.
And to deter by the fact that somebody is looking at you.
Okay, let me.
Crimes are committed in darkness, under the cover of darkness.
Do you know why crime?
Metaphoric and actual.
Yeah.
You know.
But do you know why crime prevails in Nigeria? It's because actions are not being followed. Most of this time, we see people committing, and they know that after 1 or 2 times, it's gone.
Oftentimes, the authorities don't even know where to begin the investigation. And that is where I was saying that, depending on the type of investigation, a CCTV camera, if it was up and working and functioning properly, would give the police or security or anybody a leg up.
A policeman
I understand the point you are trying to make, but let us put this in the context of the reason why Mr. President mentioned it. The high level of
insecurity.
Not everyday criminals. We are not talking about.
It will even mop up those ones too.
It will mop up those ones, but Mr. President is concerned. The people who visited Mr. President, we are concerned about the high level of insecurity that is prevailing in the nation now. Now, if we must address that, if we must start to curtail this, we are saying, yes, you want us to look at the positives.
As well.
Yes. But for us to look at the positives, we have to understand the challenges.
Of course.
We have to understand the negatives.
Now, we are a third world country.
If we must address these challenges.
Nobody is saying that we're going to be on the same level as Germany or the US or the UK for that matter in these security matters. But will we then fold our arms and say,
no, let me tell you,
we can't even start?
Even before this drone gets to states, first of all, let's place them on the border.
Yes.
We have recognized that we have over 400 and something porous border leading to Nigeria.
The Oni of Ife was making that point.
So let's use the drone on those, on those borders. Let's use the CCTV on those borders. You understand?
Okay.
These are it's going to work.
Pilot them and use them as a pilot. Yes, as a pilot.
So that, for instance, I think the Oni was saying from the newspaper reports that I read that, look, this whole matter about everybody hiding under the canopy of being a Fulani herdsman, they said no. There are quote-unquote bad Fulani herdsmen that are not Nigerians, that are coming from outside. And those are the ones that are causing trouble.
Yes.
Now, from what you've just said, if a CCTV camera or a drone
can start piloting our
borders, which we say, no, we can't have the manpower to do, surely, once you know that there's a breach there at this place, you can now direct everything to that area, which you can't do.
Let me tell you, and I'm still saying it. We have some private companies, private organizations that federal government can deploy to say this is going to be your role to work with the public security organizations. We have said it. There's no any part of the world.
So government doesn't need to take a leading role in it, is what you are saying.
Yeah, they can say, okay, I'm contracting this company.
Just provide the necessary environment.
Thank you.
You're thinking along the lines of, is it the US? I was reading that they have prisons in private hands.
Exactly.
In private hands.
Exactly.
It's been a challenge that
so
the government
that is the kind of thing you're talking about.
Doing everything
you are saying, yes. Are you suggesting that there is this specialization and expertise in the private sector, but just needs for the government to provide an enabling environment and perhaps even patronage. What
we're saying is that government, we know that government is exclusively have security in their pocket. But again, government can supervise the private sector to come in and say, okay, this is big for us right now. How can you bring in your wealth of experience? We read recently again that government want to start employing some old retired military officers. Those guys who are have some
like on the reserve list.
On the reserve list.
So they're not old, but people on the reserve list.
Away with wealth of experience, we can see having organizations in private sector who have so much experience and they can do this. So government can say, okay, how do we work with this private sector? What can you do? Government don't even need to invest in that drone. Those private guys can invest in the drone while government is working with them.
Okay, you're referring to the fact now that Mr. President was talking about state governments that wanted to fly drones, that were applying for permission, they should now be fast-tracked. So you are saying that why are governments, why are state governments even that interested in it? Is the point that you are making?
That's the point I'm making. Don't forget again that the manpower is very short.
The manpower is very
short. How many police? This is close to 200 million Nigerians.
Okay, you wanted to add?
I wanted to add, we've been so concerned about this deployment of drones and CCTV and so on. This massive investment in security, why, if we deploy a percentage of the resources being deployed into security, if we deploy half of this into
education.
I
understand.
We understand that.
I understand that.
But
I just wanted to look at this subject. What you are doing is that you're looking at it globally. You're looking at the whole society.
To resolve
and education is a part of it. In fact, if you pursue it enough, agriculture is even a part of it. Feeding myself, good stomach and all of that is also a part of it. So I understand that. But I was just thinking that we could look at this, if you want, is it an initiative, this idea of Mr. President? Because he didn't limit it to just the technology of the CCTV and the drones. It's an important part of it. He even said that where necessary, the military would move in, and this will be based on information. That when necessary, and it was important that he added that. When necessary.
I'm just not convinced that military should be playing so much role.
Not so much role.
If
I understand the report I read properly,
okay,
he didn't want the military to play so much
Presently, we have so much military presence within the polity.
In other places, they call out the National Guard sometimes.
The presence of the military, I need you to understand something, and I need the government to understand something. The disposition towards military might also helps to cause apprehension within the citizenry, resulting in all these things they are trying to solve. My point is this: there is a challenge. The challenge is that of insecurity. We have analyzed so much of this challenge, and we realize that a large chunk of it is coming from outside the country. The effort should be, just like my brother said, should be directed at the vital points of our border areas.
Okay.
If they do that,
then it will be a worthwhile exercise.
It will be a worthwhile exercise. Then the revenant, there should be serious attention. We should be addressing the causes of this insecurity.
I hear you.
We should be addressing this.
The causes, yes, but you're right. That is if we could be as structured as you are suggesting, which is take one thing after another. But we can't go sequentially because we are right now in the middle. We're in the middle of an ocean.
Yes.
Barracudas all over the place, snapping at our butts.
Taking your word from what you just said right now. Taking from what you just said now, Kuyori, I think a few days ago, what's his name? Okorosha.
Yes.
That's former governor.
Former governor, now senator.
You remember what he said?
Yeah.
He said, this is, at a point, Imo State was being taken over by kidnappers.
There you go.
He said he went to every community, and he said the kings, the Ezes, the traditional rulers, I'm going to pay you stipends, 20,000 naira per month. Take care of your community. Whatever that happened in your community, we are going to deal with you. But do you know that it worked?
Why will it not work? Why will it not work? Because this thing that, thank you for reminding me, it also came up, in Abuja yesterday. I think the president, the president was pointing out that traditional rulers are going to play a key part on all of this. Then we'll go into what we'll be talking about from time to time, this matter of, what is it, with that special kind of police?
Community policing.
Community policing. Yes. I was hearing some very good music that now police people will be hired from where they're operating. So all of this will be very helpful. But meanwhile, there's someone on the line. Okay. So that's why I've been rushing a bit. Okay. Good morning, Mr. George, and thank you for holding on.
Thank you, Uncle Yori. Good morning to everybody there.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Uncle Yori, first, I want to find out. You said there is a repeat of this program at midnight. I have watched the program. It's not repeated at midnight, or is it on another channel?
Oh, dear.
That's by the way.
Okay.
What we are talking about this morning, I don't know why many of us are pessimistic where innovations are concerned. Nigerians that live abroad, they obey the laws there. They don't break CCTV cameras along the streets. But here, when they come by, the same people will be speaking with foreign accent and with speaking American slang and be driving against traffic. I have witnessed many. Somebody caught driving against traffic and he comes out with a foreign accent defending it. This is something he cannot do when he goes abroad. We are not too immature to use CCTV cameras. Why is it that we cannot? I think the maintenance culture is what we need to address. And also sabotage. Even those who are supposed to use the CCTV as a security tool, for one reason or the other, are opposed to it. This is one of the things that the government needs to track. What is wrong in using drones to, for example, scan the criminals living in the forest, kidnapping people to go and keep them in the forests? That is a very useful device. Why should anyone say it cannot work? Why do you try, you say something cannot work when you have not tried it?
Okay.
Let us try something before it works. Now, the maintenance culture is where we should put our attention, not developing.
Okay.
Are we going to be, this is a country that produced a Nobel laureate more than 30 years ago. When are we going to grow in technology as well?
Thank you very much.
I don't think it is premature to use these devices. We change our attitude.
All right then.
Thank
you very much, Mr. George.
Let me quickly correct what Mr. George said. Nobody has said that CCTV and drone is not welcome. We are saying CCTV and drone does not work in isolation.
Yeah, but we also said,
hold on, sir.
But it was also said here that it's hardly our priority.
Yes, because we need to get to fundamentals. That's what we said. We need to get to fundamentals. Now, for example, police, let's assume we're going to build a control room for CCTV. CCTV. Let's assume we're going to build a control room for CCTV. Police stations that they're going to build these control rooms, all those local police stations. Have you ever been there lately to see how most of these stations are?
Okay, but
how those people? No, see, because
not that I want to contradict you, sir, but I don't think they're going to be citing control centers in every police station.
Are you going to do it?
There will be a post. There will be a position.
So you're going to put a?
There will be a central station.
Hold on.
Look at the Lagos example now.
Hold on.
No, look at the Lagos example now.
Hold on, Kuyori. Are you going to put CCTV on the highway or Benin Road and go and put control room in Benin? No.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm going to come back so you guys will explain this a bit more. But I've got to go on a break now.
Okay.
And so we'll come back and we'll get more of this and also take inputs from home as well. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Southwest leaders, they met with the president yesterday to, underline their concern with the state of security. And from there, Mr. President was sharing some ideas, among them drones, for instance, as a device. They're very difficult to get permission for, but Mr. President said he would be, directing relevant authorities to speed up all of this. Then there will be CCTVs as well. The one that is a bit controversial is that one about, if necessary, military can be drafted in, which is not going to be an everyday affair, but that will immediately raise some heckles. Yeah, we know about all of that. But in case you're just joining us, the first half of the program, my guests have sort of explained that, look, there are going to be some challenges, and that's where we broke off and went on to break. So we're back now, and let me go to something that you guys actually touched on. I didn't even know why the president was sharing all that information with those people yesterday. I personally, maybe I don't know enough about it. I would have wanted this not to be shared. Let them just carry on. Let them be doing what they're doing. No, for instance, abroad, the 5G service that is coming out that people say is going to be a killer, they're not telling anybody anything. They just they come in with their vans, they come in with their equipment, they climb up, they do what they're doing. So I don't know why we didn't do it that way. But maybe because of our own political environment, there's a need to assure people that, look, we're not twiddling our thumbs, we're doing things. But the problem I have is that once any bad guy, you know what I mean, any bad guy knows that, this is how you people want to go now. Okay, let's also begin to think now. Let's also begin to think about it now.
There's not thinking of how to circumvent
the criminals are always ahead of us, whether you like it or not. This thing Mr. President has just said is not just only for
Southwest. But it's the police that are supposed to be ahead of the criminals.
Thank you.
It's the intelligence that's supposed to be ahead of the criminals. It's government that's supposed to be ahead of the criminals.
This insecurity in Nigeria today is not only in Southwest. It's in the North, South, across the country.
Across the country.
I want to use my village, where I came from, in Southeast as an example, to see if CCTV work there. It is across the sea before you get to my my village called Nzam in Anambra West local government. In Anambra, in that Nzam is the headquarters of Anambra West. It has a little police post, about 5 policemen that monitor entire people that's close to 1 million people.
Okay.
And sometimes those policemen, they are in Onitsha because they are across.
Yes.
Tell me, if there's a situation in that community,
Yes.
how are they going to do it with CCTV in that village?
But if there's a drone...
If there's a drone,
if there's a drone, they could see that and within minutes, draft people to the place.
So,
so
what I'm saying
this is
here,
one of the possible...
No, what I'm saying here is the fact that let Mr. President start with the community policing.
Okay.
Why the issue of CCTV is just being done and nobody knows what is going on.
All right.
Because no criminal lives in the community without being known.
Okay. Mr. President came up with a whole slew of ideas.
Yes.
This is just that the drone and the what you call is the one that is headlining. But there are other aspects to it as well. Caller in Dublin, good morning and thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Yeah. I've been listening very well and I've been following this conversation this morning. You see, the argument about this CCTV and drones is
it's a conversation
very, very
actually.
critical.
It's a conversation actually.
Yeah, it's conversation. Yeah. Anyway, conversation about this. To me, I don't think CCTV can work on the highway. On the highway, even if, we should first look at what is our response time to any event or any emergency.
Wait, sir. Do you have CCTVs in Dublin there?
Of course.
Yes, there are CCTVs within the metropolis,
okay.
within the city.
Okay.
The CCTV on the highway, it can only be used for analytical purpose if there is any crime, whatever. But if we have CCTV on the highway, if there's any crime on the highway, how fast can the response team get there to attend to the crime? It will amount to wasting of money and waste of resources. Even within the metropolis, if there's any crime, they see CCTV. If they call the police, for example, if there's a crime in, let's say, the movement between the metropolis. We don't have good roads. We don't have good roads. But we don't have a dedicated lane for emergencies.
Well, Kola, I hear you. Kola, I beg your pardon for interrupting you. I hear you, but aren't we going too deep into the logistics? This was just ideas that came out, and I would imagine that Mr. President, the man is a retired general. He knows a thing or two about security. The logistics, no doubt, come along with it, as you are saying. But to begin to immediately assume that they don't know what they're doing, it's not going to work.
No, don't get me wrong.
He's not saying that.
I'm not saying that.
He's not saying that.
Okay, but it's not going to work.
It's good. It can, if it's good to be for capturing. For this response, I'm not convinced it will work well. If it's within the process, even in Lagos, when they have CCTV all over, how many crimes has the CCTV helped them to respond to? It's only for capturing. They can use this data to say, okay, let's see who commits the crime, whatever. And in Nigeria, we don't have data. Even monitor anybody.
Thank you very much for calling in, Kola. I got to concede something to you. I got to concede to Kola. I was, maybe a lot of people saw, how they share stuff on WhatsApp. I actually saw CCTV footage of a car being broken into. And they broke into the car. Nothing. They spent all the time that they needed. And the people came to people who, quote unquote, stole that footage to put on WhatsApp. They came the following morning and are now saying, look at him. Hello. And I'm saying, and I was just looking at this would go back to some of the things that you have pointed out and some of the things that Kola has pointed out. But what I'm saying is that this is a time of emergency. Those people the people who set up those things were probably doing it because it's all part of governance. But now we have an emergency on our hands.
Let me help you here, Mr. Yori. See,
maybe just help the conversation. I don't need any particular help. I don't need any particular help.
Now,
maybe you want to move the conversation forward.
We've had this shite challenge for some time now, especially at the city center in Abuja. And we know that CCTV cameras are stationed almost everywhere within the metropolis of Abuja. I was in Abuja. I was at the central. I was at the Federal Secretariat this last time that this incident happened, and you know, that number of people agreed somewhere, mobilized themselves somewhere, and started moving to the city center. I mean, the Federal Secretariat, virtually opposite Aso Rock by the National Assembly.
We were lax that time.
What time? We are talking about just 2 weeks ago.
We were lax that time.
We are talking about just 2 weeks ago. What I am saying is this. There are necessary infrastructures that need to be put in place that the federal government should pay their attention to. So when these CCTV and drones are deployed, they will come seamlessly and they will work seamlessly. But moving straight to procure gives me the impression that
we've not got our priorities right.
Yes, we've not got our priorities right. There are lots of challenges in the country, and people are making businesses out of these challenges. Let me not hope. Let me not assume. They should not give me the impression that because people will start scavenging to make supplies here, to make this here.
No, as soon as Mr. President announced it now, all you security people are going to start moving into position. Moving into position. You just said that they should. But wait a minute. Let's hear from France. Let's hear from France. Mike is in Paris. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm very happy to get you for the first time.
Oh, we're delighted to have you.
Program. I'm really it's very, very interesting, and I thank you very much for bringing these issues up to the public.
Sure.
For those of us who are far away from home, I know that the security of our people is very important.
Yes.
Personally, I was home during the election, and I was afraid I couldn't go to my village because of the problem. Yeah. What I want to say is that, seeing about what I saw also when the president was addressing the people concerning the insecurity. Like you said, you personally, this issue, we are not supposed to publicize it. Yeah, the government is supposed to take action. But having said that, your experts are doing a really great job. I don't want to take most of your time.
Sure.
We have areas where drones could be used. Areas controlled by Boko Haram, where we are sitting here every day. Why not try these areas first and see if we can be able to detect the areas where Boko Haram have been really in control and killing hundreds of Nigerians every month. Thank you very much.
Okay, have you gone?
Yes. Uncle Yori, please quickly let me say this quickly.
Okay.
We are in an emergency situation right now.
Exactly the point.
In an emergency situation, using CCTV is not the point right now. Start installing. If I'm going to install CCTV, it's going to take us another 3-4 years to have a very good
setup,
And again, I want to put it on record that none of private security company in Nigeria were part of people that install CCTV in Abuja. They are from China, and that's why they didn't get it right. They didn't get it right because they didn't understand our environment, they didn't understand our terrain, they just brought people to come and do these things. If you're going to do CCTV in Nigeria, you use the indigenous, people who knows about the terrain, people who knows about how it's going to work. Like I keep telling you.
But there are no Nigerian manufacturers of drones now. You say they brought from China.
Just about capturing.
Wait. You say they're bringing it from outside. We can't supply inside.
No, I'm telling you that they brought them to come and do the job here.
Okay.
Yes.
They brought the Chinese to come and install.
To come and install. And that's why they brought all those garbages to come and install in Abuja. And it didn't work here today.
It's not working.
But that's not the point we're raising here today. Me, I'm saying under this intense situation, as a security person, what Mr. President should be telling everybody right now, the Obas, the emirs, everybody, go back to your locality, go back to your village, go back to your people and work. Nobody comes and attack you without being in your locality.
Indeed.
Hold on.
No, the bandits say that.
The bandits that are coming.
A traditional ruler should work with their people so that with the district heads and all of that, so that they know when strangers come into town for registration and all of that.
Thank you, sir. The bandits that are coming to attack in the villages, they are the food they are eating are being supplied by the locals.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
the water they are drinking are being supplied by the locals.
So it's about reporting.
All the people need to know. Hold on, sir. People need to know beyond drone and CCTV. Security education.
Even before drone.
People need to be educated on the issue of security.
This point you are making was also mentioned yesterday, and it doesn't concern drone or CCTVs, that an influx of people into any area cannot go without the knowledge of the district head or the KBAC or the Oba or the Emir. They must know, because there are different district heads. And once people notice that, wait a minute, as people have been observing in Lagos, that why are trailer loads of people coming and just offloading? Now, this is something that will be taken up wherever, properly.
Are you going to every nook and cranny of Lagos right now? All the Okada riders, they are not Nigerians.
There you go.
That's it.
Yakub, thank you very much for holding on, Yakub. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Secretary. And then good morning to you guys.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you very much. Secretary, I dare to agree with one of your guests that says that part of the resources that they want to put into this drone and CCTV camera to be able to channel to education. If there is no secure environment, how do we go to learn? That is number one. Number two, I think this is the right way to go. We are complaining about that we don't have human power in terms of security personnel to be able to police in our environment. Now that we are planning to deploy technology, people are still saying that we are not right for that. For me, if Abba Kyari can have a technology whereby if they kidnap person, they will be calling Abba Kyari that in Abuja, go to this state, they have kidnapped someone there, and then the man will move in and then be able to secure those people that they kidnap. If only a single person get that kind of a technology, and then they call him upon wherever they need him.
Okay.
Why is it that Abba Kyari, we have a lot of Abba Kyari in this country.
Okay.
Babajide Otitoloju always says that the technology that they give to Abba Kyari, they should be able to give it to every state, every police command, in order for us to be able to secure environment. So what Mr. President says, it is okay, let's do it. Whether it's going to work or not, let's do it for. Thank you and God bless you.
Well, thank you very much. Let's just take.
But we need to educate. We are here to educate our listeners and our viewers.
Look, our viewers also, they're quite knowledgeable.
Yes, of course,
about a lot of this stuff. But look, security people, they're specialists. They're also very secretive. Yeah. They don't. It's not in their nature to let us know what their whole paraphernalia network is, unless you guys are saying that because of your closeness, there's nothing they can tell you. You know just about everything that they have.
No, we cannot be saying that.
So what I'm saying is that I appreciate everything that you're saying. Yes, sir.
The drone can be used as we're talking right now under this emergency.
Sure.
Now, so that it can detect where the bandits are, and Air Force are asked to go to so point
because
and take them out.
The only problem I have is that maybe it's because I don't know enough about it. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
I can't understand why they can't send a drone up into that Sambisa, the skies over Sambisa.
Exactly.
And actually find out where are these guys.
Mr. Yori,
but as I said, I don't know enough.
Understand something, and that is this: the major challenge of this country. I've dealt with the security arm, and I have come to understand the way, I think the kind of politics we have played in this country have given us a security system that is loyal to diverse interest groups, loyal to diverse ethnic groups, loyal to diverse religion, loyal to diverse politicians.
It's a very important point that you're making,
now,
in my opinion.
Yes.
It's a very, very important point.
When you have security personnel.
It's all about truth.
It's all about
a friend of mine, when I'm was sending me some stuff, but, sorry, I digress. But it was all about truth. It's all about truth. How sincere are we really in this quest? Are we all pulling in the same direction?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, there's a comrade in Abuja. Good morning, comrade.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
Comrade Ogbanago Mohammed Ibrahim, calling from Abuja.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I think the guest in the studio is not saying the right thing.
How do you mean?
We have been shouting over the years that there should be a technology to tackle insecurity. Now, the president have now, I think, come out to say that they need a technology to tackle this insecurity. For the first time in Nigeria, I think we should embrace it and test it for the first time. Look at a fellow just called a while ago. He was talking about if there is those drums, not even CCTV in this regard now, those drums across the federation. Let's start it from the state capital.
Yeah.
And if there is a crime, you will see that people will easily call the attention of the security agency to come and at least look into it. Now you are in the studio condemning it. Where do you want to go from here?
Okay.
So that's all. We must, for the first time, let us do this for the first time and see if it will work. That's how we should go. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for calling in.
No, let me say something.
You're not condemning
okay, I'm not
anything.
condemning.
We're having this conversation.
What we are saying
You're
here,
pointing out some challenges.
Yes. We are pointing out some challenges.
I don't want us to be rebutting point by point.
It will work. But we are saying let it be gradual.
Exactly.
Now, with the emergency we have today, CCTV, you can't go to CCTV is not like Momoy and Torokobo. It's going to take time to put those equipment in place.
My comment in this regard was that, look, we are caught almost with our pants down.
Yes.
We're in a swimming pool full of barracudas snapping at our behinds. And so we can't really do some of these things that we would have done like that. So
it's going to take a process.
So when you guys were criticizing that, look, why would you jump into drones at this stage? It's because of where we meet ourselves now. We just need to be able to send something out quickly if need be and get some coordinates and be able to put people there as opposed to they strike, they disappear. We don't know where they disappear to and that kind of thing. I don't know. The experts will know a lot more about
it. It will be insane to say we should not use technology. It will be insane.
Sure.
It will be actually madness.
I understand.
Mr. President is very right.
Okay.
But what we're saying
and
here,
he's coming up with ideas.
I'm saying here, as a security
but I don't know why he's sharing those
take,
ideas.
Yes.
He's coming up with ideas, but I don't understand why Mr. President...
And that process is going to take. It's not going to take only public security. It's going to take, including private security sector.
I'm sure.
It's going to take. Let's start from the borders.
Is the private security that provides armament for the Nigerian army now?
Thank you.
Is it government?
So that's it.
We take all of this for given.
So,
that is why it's a private. They come from the private sector.
Yes.
So I understand all of that. But there's someone else on the line. Well, this is in the UK. Good morning in the UK. Finest.
Good morning.
Finest in the UK. Good morning.
Yes, please. Yeah, good morning, moderator.
Thank you for calling.
I'm quite very well listening to your conversation about security in Nigeria. And
the deployment of technology. The deployment of technologies to combat it.
Yes. That's an interesting thing, We in Nigeria and diaspora, we are quite concerned about the security in Nigeria. But the issue is this. Nigeria forgot to take things into consideration about what is the cause of our insecurity, first of all.
Okay.
The cause of our insecurity is because a lot of us who based in Nigeria, also based in the UK or in anywhere in the part of the world, fail to respect the custodial law of Nigeria. That is where the insecurity begins. One, we worship people with heavy amount of money, children going out for a big money to make it big. A lot of things continue. Then insecurity begins. Insecurity begins right from home. If a parent cannot educate their children, or a husband cannot educate his wife, insecurity begins from there. And then we now, at the same time, lost the concept of why our country has been made for and what we stand for. Okay. When I was a kid, when I was in Nigeria, you see, Nigeria is the best place to stay. There's a lot of insecurity because we have what we call community policing. And community policing is before you come into any area of that Nigeria or a community, you must be identified by the people. Say, oh, there's a stranger here.
Yeah.
That's beginning. To add a sugar to what you're saying, Mr. President is right. Let us say CCTV camera and drone cannot help. Take it away. Every one of us is discussing. But one thing is this. If a CCTV camera is installed in a highway, yes, we may not have the road to send the emergency force to attack whatever happens there. But that CCTV camera will take the plate number of that car. He will take whatever happens there, the incident that happens there, and it will be related. It can take 6 months to get it. In UK, for instance, the government is not fighting security by themselves. They have a company called G4S. They have so many companies. Then what stop our former, will call it a CID in those days, who man CID security, who are like a CCTV camera.
Yeah.
Where did they gone to? The reason is The people in the office are based off money. The police and the soldiers, the military men we get today, they are after money. No one is willing to risk his life.
Oh dear.
No one is willing to fight for Nigeria.
Oh dear.
Until we all begin to learn how to fight for Nigeria, learn how to stand for our rights, to know that we are one, to know that we have to defend ourselves, then we shall be secured.
Thank you.
And that is the truth.
Thank you very much for calling in, Finest. And that part where Finest was saying that the crisis that a husband, can educate his wife.
Yes.
Let us turn the other way around. Wives too can also educate their husbands. I just wanted to balance that equation.
Okay, that's what I
Wives too can also
our people need
their
security.
husbands.
They need security education. And what is security education? When you see something, you say something. And again, like he said earlier, we have tribalized security. We have politicized security, and those things are not supposed to be done. So there's need for us Nigerians to understand. CCTV will work, technology will work, but let's take it from fundamentals.
I hear
That's
you.
what we're saying today.
I hear you.
We're under emergency.
We've got to go now.
Under
Thank you very
emergency.
much. Yeah, we've got to go.
I think before we go, I need to make this point.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. The government of Nigeria must understand the situation that we are in and give it the necessary attention. That attention is addressing our governance challenges.
Okay.
They have to make people feel the impact of their governance.
And thank you very much. And providing security is part of that good
That's
governance.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, Phillips Obuesi and Richard Amua. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your perspectives on this whole matter. I just wish the president hadn't gone and told everybody that this is what we're planning for the bad guys. But again, there must be a strategic reason for doing so. Yeah. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate your coming. And that's our program. Please join us on Monday. I almost said tomorrow, but we don't do Saturdays. Please join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folari. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.